Good day, everyone. My name is Nontobeko Mashilwane. I'll be presenting to you One Health Intervention Plan for Taeniasis cysticercosis. This work was done by a group of 4 members, that is Philip Lowe, Kabelo Tlaka, myself, Nontobeko Mashilwane, and lastly, Katisume Joshua. We had 3 objectives, which are identification of the health and economic risk of Taeniasolium, create an intervention plan based on the One Health approach, and enumeration of possible intervention protocol and potential challenges upon the implementation.
About the parasite, the risk it causes, Taeniasolium cysticercosis is an emerging zoonosis causing both public health and agricultural problems in many low-income countries. Taeniasolium larvae of the parasite causes cysticercosis in humans. Cysts spread throughout the body, and some reaches the brain and causes neurocysticercosis, especially in heavy infections. Patients with neurocysticercosis may present seizures, signs of increased intracranial pressure, hydrocephalus, focal neurologic signs, altered mental status, or aseptic meningitis.
Still on the parasite and the risk it causes, we have a transmission cycle where humans develop intestinal infection with adult worm after ingestion of contaminated pork, or develop cysticercosis after ingestion of T. solium eggs. It starts when human ingest raw or undercooked pork containing cysticercae. After ingestion, cysts evaginate to attach to the small intestine by their scolex and mature into adult worm. Adult tapeworms produce proglottids, which become gravid. They detach from the tapeworm and migrate to the anus. The detached proglottic eggs or both are passed from the definitive host in feces. Pigs or humans become infected by ingesting embryonated eggs or gravid proglottids. Autoinfection may occur in humans if proglottids pass from the intestine to the stomach via reverse peristalsis. After eggs are ingested, they hatch in the intestine and release oncospheres, which penetrate the intestinal wall. Oncospheres travel through the bloodstream to striated muscles and to the brain, liver, or other organs where they develop into cysticercae. Cysticercosis can then result. On the economic impact, this is one of the most important helminth infection in pigs. It causes condemnation of infected carcasses. It's commonly found in developing countries of Africa, Asia, and Latin America. The WHO Food-Borne Disease Burden Epidemiology Reference Group identified that T. solium is a leading cause of deaths from foodborne disease, resulting in a considerable total of 2.8 million disability-adjusted life years.
Under important stakeholders and their interests and ways of collaboration, we have the medical sector, which have interest and specialization in human medicine, where they specialize in diseases, clinical science and treatment, and ethical practices. And they also specialize in treatment for those infected patients, and also have information dissemination about the parasite, how it's transmitted, and its nature. They collaborate by letter of intent with the intervention plan, formal meeting, and online communication. We also found animal experts, which include veterinarian, meat inspectors, animal scientists, livestock farmers. These are experts in animal diseases and also in infectious and zoonotic disease. They specialize also in the management and production of animal welfare, and they also inspect animal products and byproducts, and they also specialize in condemnation of unfit and harmful animals derived byproducts. There are ways of collaboration They also use letter of intent with intervention plan, formal meeting, and online communication. Under the government sector, we have politicians, lawmakers, and government representatives, where their interest and specialization is in implement and support regulations, approval and advertisement of proposed regulations by the researchers, and they also encourage the community to uphold the regulations. Their ways of collaborations are the same as the medical sector and the animal. Under the community sector, we find the leader or representative educators and also families or farmers, and they focus on the One Health intervention plans. Regulation and policies are designed based on their prism of needs, and they also follow regulations. They also collaborate the same way as the other stakeholders by the letter of intent with intervention plan, formal meeting, online communication. The needed ethical clearance. Under human perspective, we have an ethics committee that will be the one to assess the process of collection of data, selection of participants, approach on the participant, and the whole study protocol. It must be approved and must bear all necessary information about the study. And then under research proposal, it contains the necessary information about the research and also includes all the processes and data management. And the letter of the conduct of the study in the community, it must be a letter given to the municipality or town administration personnel to inform them that a study is to be conducted in their community. It is also vital in order to have their support of the study. And then we find the letter of intent for the research participant. And lastly, the letter of consent and waiver from the selected participant. Still under description of the needed ethical clearance, under the veterinary perspective, we also have the letter from the Animal Ethics Committee, research proposal, letter of approval from animal specialist, community clearance, and lastly, letter of consent from the animal owners. The success criteria would be the acceptability of the community, the implementation of the proposed intervention plan, practice of the intervention protocol, knowledge to attitude to practice, monitoring the progress and effectiveness, and lastly, evaluation of the desired results. Okay, the combination of the intervention tools to achieve control, we have the education and animal management. Under education, we have information dissemination about the parasite, its nature and transmission, and we provision of educational material such as booklets and pamphlets. And under animal management, education on proper handling and rearing of pigs, construction of pens for restriction of free movement of pigs, proper management focusing on proper nutrition, hygiene, especially on waste management. Still on combination of intervention tools to achieve control. Under meat inspection, we have trained meat inspector personnel where they should carry on the procedure of meat inspection, and condemnation of infected carcasses should be discarded accordingly. Abattoirs should be maintained and constructed based on meat inspection standard. Under building of latrines, construction of latrines to reduce and prevent contact of pigs to infected human waste. Improved cooking practices with the supplemental knowledge and edge for proper cooking of pig meat and other byproducts can be observed to avoid transmission of the cyst. An unknown meat source should not be passed for consumption. And in vaccination, selection of highly effective vaccine and proper administration should be done. And for the mass treatment of humans and animals with a drug of choice, selection of anthelmintics for a more efficient way of prevention should also be done. For the budget, we had about 10 million US dollars, which was distributed on education and information dissemination, peak management, building of latrines, meat inspection services, and lastly, the deworming. All the 10 million US dollars was used and divided accordingly. There were quite a number of potential challenges for implementation, which include drug treatments where oxfendazole cause necrotic lesions in human upon consumption, and praziquantel cause inflammation around dying cysts in those with cysticercosis. Large number of occult cystectomy may lead to severe neurological outcomes. And under the educational and awareness challenge, we got cultural and traditional beliefs and location of the community. For the meat inspection, a human being lacks sensitivity in visual examination of the infected pork meat, and lack of routine meat inspection, it causes poor grading of meat for human consumption, and meat found unfit for human consumption should be discarded. In animal management, interrearing or corralling to limit roaming of pigs is resource-limited settings. And the vaccination failure carried out through improper administration, host response, and the nature of the vaccine itself. Under mass treatments of humans and animals, lack of massive treatment of pig and human increases occurrence of cysticercosis. Lack of the intervention strategies to eradicate cysticercosis include surveillance of pigs and 4 key of transmission and massive chemotherapy treatment of humans. In reality, control of T. solium by a single intervention, for instance, by treating only human population, will not work because the existing infected pig can still carry on the cycle. The proposed strategy for eradication is to do multilateral intervention by treating both populations of human and porcine. It is feasible because the treatment of pigs with oxfendazole has been shown to be effective, and once treated, they are protected from further infections. These can lead to socioeconomic impacts due to costs of treatments in both human and pig populations. Treating only human population can work by preventing from environmental contamination, since the past feces may not contain eggs. Lack of reference laboratories for disease diagnosis of suspected infected in both human and pig population. Thank you. Here are the references for the whole presentation. And this presentation ends here. Thank you.